Hello and welcome to Bread of Life, a daily devotional program which each week features a different area pastor. Our speaker for this week is Pastor Peter Isaac of Bloomfield.
Greetings, family and friends. This is Pastor Peter Isaac. And my topic this week is what you miss when you miss church. Not only do you miss the presence of Jesus when you miss attending the service, you also miss the praise of Jesus. It's right here in verse 20 of John 20. And when he had said so, he showed them his hands and his side. Then were the disciples glad when they saw the Lord. These men were cowering behind closed doors, and Jesus mightily and miraculously shows up in their midst. That's his presence. When Jesus comes into their midst, the first thing they did was to give him praise. Now, sometimes we are the ones to enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. But there are those times when we cannot do anything for ourselves, and unless God intervenes, we are done for. Sometimes, friends, God has got to show up and show off in the storms. My Bible readers would remember how Jesus sent his disciples off to the other side of the Sea of Galilee. And while the disciples were struggling against a sudden storm, in the middle of the sea, in the middle of the night, Jesus came walking on the water. Peter asked Jesus to come, and Jesus said, "Come." Peter then got out of the boat and walked in the water towards Jesus. But as soon as he took his eyes off of Jesus and turned his eyes upon the storm, he began to sink. Jesus eventually saved him. And when Jesus stepped onto the boat, the raging storm ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, "Of a truth, thou art the Son of God." The disciples here in John's gospel were presently wondering about the future of their existence because of the events of the past few days. Even though there were physical barriers to keep others out, Jesus just appeared in their midst. Again, Thomas, one of the 12, was absent. What he missed when he missed the presence of Jesus was then the praise. He wasn't able to look upon the one who said, "I will lay down my life and I will take it back up again." He missed out on being together with the other disciples and their collective experience of joy and gladness. There is nothing like coming together at the church service to praise and worship the Lord in the congregation of the righteous. I want you to know. I can turn on my TV or my computer or listen on my phone to gospel music. But when I connect with other believers who are praising and worshiping the same Jesus that I praise and worship, nothing else can compare. Don't miss corporate praise and worship, my friends. If you miss out on his presence when the believers are assembled together, then you also miss out on the joyful and glad experience of praise and worship. I was glad when they said unto me, "Come, let us go into the house of the Lord." Grace and peace be to you today.
You've been listening to Pastor Peter Isaac of Bloomfield, and this has been Bread of Life, a program to encourage you from God's Word.